The rim like that, it just works best for me. And then you get your bubble in the middle. And that way you know that your tire is true. And it's as simple as that. Take it off. Go back in here. Push in these weights again. Make sure you get all the air pockets out of it. And this is just for manual. And then once you do that, pick it back up one more time. Put it back on there. And see where you're at. As long as that bubble falls in the center, you're good. And voila. We are good to go. And that's how I do my leveling. Now, you can use the outside ones, but sometimes it takes so much weight using this kind, guys. You know, it can be crazy. Sometimes you got to break your wheel down, spin your tire, and there's a lot to it. But when you're doing the balancing like that and you're trying to keep these to the inside, like I do, you can distribute them more downward. I mean, just as long as you're in that space. Some people like to stack them on top of each other. I really don't like to do that. I'd rather spend the extra time. It's worth it to me to keep rebalancing it so that I know it's at the point. And then when you get done, make sure your bubble's where it's supposed to be. All the time, recheck that. I don't care how many times. It's better to do it 4, 5, 6 times. And that way, you know that your tire's balanced correctly. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. It's a trial and error thing. You know, there's plenty of other videos probably out there on YouTube show you how to do it in the distribution. Just remember, whenever you're using these weights, though, these style of weights, here, let me put you guys up because I'm no longer there. Get you guys up here a little bit more so you can see me. Whenever you're using these style of weights, okay, that fit on the outer rim, like this, if you put that much weight there, then on the inside, you want to also put that much weight right across from each other, okay? Otherwise, it's not going to be level. Just remember that, okay? When you're doing a stick-on weight style, it's different, okay? Because what you're doing is the distribution of weight is working differently, all right? So just remember that. It's very important that you distribute the weight evenly when you're using this type, okay? You come across from each other and you pound them in. All right? And there's many different ways, many different types of ways of balancing your tires, just as long as it's always balanced in that bubble. And that this hub part, where you put that over the top, is centered every time. Because if it's not, it's going to throw your weight off. Alright? So, I hope it was informative. I would ask you to go out there and search out and learn other people's techniques and what works. But guys, the biggest thing is make sure you rebalance, rebalance, rebalance. Anytime you mess with the weights, rebalance. Okay? That's the biggest part of this. Because if you don't, you're going to find that your treads are going to wear unevenly. You're going to have wobble. And it's going to be off-centered at certain speeds. Sometimes when the side belt goes bad in them, or rocks. See that rock? Now, if you put your tire on the ground, right, and you see a rock and you didn't see it before, make sure that you put this back down on top of there like this. And you center it. Just like that. Now what I'm seeing here is that it's pulling that way more. So that rock being over there on that side, what did it do? It threw my bubble off. And it could have threw it off an ounce, a half ounce. Which I'm seeing that right now that it threw it off. So what do I have to do? Gotta come back in here. Right? And you gotta take a couple off. Oh, it can be a pain in the anus. Yep, sure can. But it's better that you do this now. What I do is I just take a couple weights off and watch that bubble. Now it's starting to come back in, right? So what am I going to do? Come in here and take one weight off at a time. Now it's starting to come back in. Take one more weight off. Now it's starting to come back in. See it? And that's how you get your bubble back. Because otherwise, it's going to be all out. So always remember, when you're checking your tire and you're doing this, that you make sure that there's nothing at all, paper or anything, that you could have picked up from the ground that got in your tread. Because if it does, it's going to throw it off. And it just showed you that. Okay? So be conscientious of that. Okay, guys? Alright. I hope this was informative. I'd ask you to go look at other people's videos, see how everybody does it. Everybody has similar things that they do, but some things are a little different. I hope it was helpful. Hope it was informative. Hey, try this stuff out, guys. You can save yourself some money. Take some of the steps, go through it, use the right procedures, and you too can save a little money. Anyways, this was Reverend Bob. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm hot, it's sweaty. I got one more tire to do. And we'll catch you on the next one. Reverend Bob is out of here. See ya!